Susanoo, Amaterasu, the strongest form of genjutsus. What if Deku had all of these? This is What If Deku was Itachis Reincarnation Part 2.
As Deku opened the door, he slowly walked in. In that moment, the whole entire room went silent. All heads turned in his direction. Why are they staring at me so hard, he wondered. Itachi would then burst into laughter in Deku's head. This reminds me of the old days, he said hesitantly. They're staring at you because they're impressed by you, Deku, he answered. What weirdos, Deku thought in his head. Ida would walk up to Deku to apologize for the way he acted earlier and to ask him if he knew about the secret to the exam. Deku would put up his hand up, signaling for him to stop, and whispered, I'm trying to sleep and you're ignoring me, said Deku. The class would then proceed to get tense. Aizawa walked in and would say, It's good to see you're all quiet. Uraraka wouldn't introduce herself to Deku over again, seeing how he was acting, and wouldn't ask Aizawa about orientation because she was also shocked about Deku. Put on your PE suits and come outside, Aizawa would tell the class. The same thing would go as in canon, and well, the difference is that Deku aced everything, like he aced everything perfectly, and would just leave after. After walking home, it was around nighttime. He hadn't really talked to his mom all day. He just went straight to sleep to recharge his energy. But the thing is that while Deku was asleep, he would usually talk to Itachi inside of his mindscape. As the night is going, Aizawa would be researching into Deku, trying to find out more about how this kid could be so strong. Then he would stumble upon the Rin incident and put two and two together. So this is who he's fighting for, he would say in his mind. I like this kid, he would laugh out loud. Let's see what he turns out to be. The next day, All Might would burst into class yelling, I am here. Then he would notice a familiar figure in the back. That's that boy, All Might would declare, whispering in his breath. The whole entire time he's talking to the class of 1A, he would be staring intensely at Deku. What does he want from me? What do all these people want? Deku would say, mumbling under his breath, staring right back at All Might, taking this as a challenge. Well, kids, when getting accepted to UA, you were asked to submit hero costumes. Go put them on and meet me outside in the training grounds, All Might would say. Deku's costume would be the Anabu outfit with the mask and the small little blade that, what was his name? Itachi and Shishui had. That like small little blade. You probably know what I'm talking about. The teams would go as in canon, with Uraraka and Deku be on this one team, and Bakugo and Ida as the villains. When the exam started, Deku told Uraraka, Don't move, I got this. Seeing to what he had did to the Zero Pointer previously, she listened to him. Deku would slowly walk off, taking his sweet time. Bakugo would then jump out the corner, trying to blast him with an explosion, but Deku would easily dodge this. Bakugo, getting mad seeing at this fact, would start rushing and throwing explosions left and right, but Deku would be using the sharingan, and everything seemed to move in slow-ish motion for him. Deku would start to get cocky and start slacking, which caused him to get hit by one of Bakugo's explosions. Itachi would yell at Deku, "Start taking things seriously, or you're gonna get even more training." Deku would start to use 15% of his power, or his true power, and put Bakugo into a weak-ish genjutsu. This would buy Deku around 2 minutes, but through Bakugo's willpower and anger, he would be able to break through it. That's why it only lasted 2 minutes. But for a regular person, it would have lasted at least 20 minutes. So Bakugo, kind of tempers. Bakugo would yell, "Get back here, Deku, you coward," on the top of his lungs. And then would use his explosion to propel himself forward, trying to catch up to Deku. Upon catching behind Deku, he would unknowingly attack the Sharingan's blind spot. Deku yelled, while getting hit by Bakugo's explosions. Deku would start to get pissed. "I don't got time for this," he yelled. He would then turn up his power percentage to 30%, kicking Bakugo and putting him even in a stronger genjutsu where he would see all of his greatest fears and nightmares. He would then rush off to where Ida was and vanish right in front of Ida's eyes. Seeing that Ida's pretty fast, he would be very shocked at this. With still using 30% of his power, he would karate chop Lita in the back of his neck, knocking him out. He would then touch the bomb, signaling the test was over, and he would release Bakugo out of the genjutsu he just put him in. Everybody was watching the screen stunned and amazed, and All Might had the biggest grin on his face. "This kid," would be the only thing he would say out loud. When getting back, Deku would slide against the wall. He was not tired, he just wanted to sleep. That was his favorite thing to do, was to sleep, not caring about the other matches or whatever was going on, which went exactly as in canon anyway. When going home, Deku would proceed to buy some food from the shop and would run into Momo, but would try his best to avoid her, not wanting to interact with her per se. Instead, he would be observing the fight that was going on across the street between one hero and two villains. He would be observing them with his Sharingan, copying every single one of their movements, studying it, saving it for later to restudy and to use in later fights if the situation ever came for it. Then Deku would go to sleep and wake up for the next day. "Today, class, we will be going to a special facility to work on rescue training," Aizawa would announce to the students. We time skip to where 13 would be giving her speech about how quirks can be dangerous depending on how you use it. "What's going on?" Deku would say, drawing attention to himself. After saying this, the lights would turn off. Deku would sense intense killing intent. Just as Itachi taught him, he knew what to do. Itachi had a big grin inside of Deku's head. Deku would proceed to use 50% of his power and would vanish in the dark, hiding his presence. He was in killing mode. As the lights turned back on, everyone would stare at the purple gate on the other side of the facility. "What is that?" Ida would whisper. In that moment, villains would start to pour out through the portal. Aizawa would then yell for everyone to get back, and seeing that Ida was the fastest, he would tell them to get the other heroes. "Midoriya, you will..." Aizawa would stop short, looking behind him. Deku was gone. Where did he go? Aizawa wondered. A shuriken would land next to Aizawa's feet, and it had a note on it. As he picked it up, he read, 200 villains, 5 portals. They might die. Aizawa knew this was from Deku. After reading this note, he dropped on the floor and got ready to go fight the villains, trying to give Deku some support, seeing that he's only a child. In the other parts of the training grounds, Deku would be shredding through the villains, using short sword similar to the Anbus, like I already stated. He would also be using his crow technique that Itachi uses, like substitution crow technique. And some taijutsu, mostly taijutsu. Some of the villains would literally be running away from this kid, because Deku was in a mode where half of his power can kill armies. Like, have you seen Itachi fight? For around 15 minutes had passed. Deku had killed, oh, not killed, like knocked out around 150 of the villains, saying that he did not want to pay any penalties in the future for killing anyone. Yet. Keyword there, yet. He would finally arrive in the area where he had originally started. He would see Aizawa, Bakugo, and Todoroki holding their own against their own villains. Katagiri would then kneel down next to Shigaraki and say, "We have lost about 70% of our forces. They've been taken out." "What?" Shigaraki would yell. "By who?" Katagiri would then point at Deku's direction. "I thought we were gonna save this for All Might," Shigaraki would say, scratching his neck intensely, peeling off some skin. Hesitant, he would say, "Katagiri, release the Nomu." Katagiri would hesitate for 2 minutes. Shigaraki would then yell, "Now!" "Yes, sir," Shigaraki would say, opening the gate. The Nomu. The Nomu would pop out of the gate, slowly walking, looking toward Deku's direction. "Nomu, kill that kid, and anyone else that stands in your way," Shigaraki would give him the orders. And that is the end for What If Deku Was Itachi's Reincarnation Part 2. Tell me if you want a Part 3. At 30 likes, I'll be doing Part 3. I also have another video coming out today. Like, subscribe, and comment, and that's it.